Today we're going to talk about one of the theories behind why Valide stopped seeing Halvet with Selim the Terrible. You know, we don't know much about Valide, and I can tell you, it's a pretty confusing story. To make a long story short, Valide was originally a Christian, just like Abdullah, who was recorded in her father's Hurrem records, and that name was given to anyone who converted to Islam. So, Valide probably couldn't have been a Crimean princess because Islam wasn't practiced there at that time. That's the dilemma. The most interesting thing is that Hafsa may not have been Suleiman's mom. Because of the confusion with names, the info is all messed up. They called Walide Aisha Hafsa, but there were actually two names and two people involved. That's why it's so hard to tell who's who, but let's move on. According to Hurrem rules, after a concubine had a kid, she didn't get any more nights with the Sultan, but if she was a wife, she had the right to one night a week with her husband, on Thursdays. As we know, Walide was married and had kids, Suleiman and 4 daughters, Hatice, Bihan, Shah Sultan, and Fatma Sultan. She gave birth to Fatima when she was 22 and then stopped having kids. Before she left with Suleiman, she had about 8 years left, but she didn't see Selim I during that time. Historians say he was busy with other women and politics. Some say after Hafsa, Selim stopped visiting his harem altogether. He had a few kids, but only Suleiman survived. When Walide left the palace, she went with Suleiman to the province. After that, she was alone. I'm going with the classic version. In the Sultan's harem, there were lots of women, so it's easy to get lost. Most likely, he just forgot about his Valide and got interested in another girl. And since everyone knows about Selim's weird interest in boys, that makes sense. But after Fatma was born, Hafsa was all alone. Ottoman women had a tough life. At 22 years old, Walide was on her own. That was already old for Ottomans, but some women didn't even get to see the Sultan. They married politicians. Not all had that fate, though. Harems are tough places. They're like the house of noble girls. There are strict rules and only the strong survive.